Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, I know it's been a really long time since I've filmed a video. I've been in the process of closing my summer business and moving and starting a new job, and so my life's been really crazy, and I know it's been way too long since I've done a video, but I have quite a few videos in mind, so hopefully those will be getting done soon. Today, though, I'm going to talk about the Miss America pageant that's coming up this weekend. I'm super excited to watch it. I have some friends that are competing, so that makes it a lot of fun. But I thought that it would be fun to give all of you guys some tips on how to watch the pageant like a judge and kind of see a little bit of at least how I would judge the pageant and how I do judge pageants, and hopefully give you guys some tips and see how close you guys come to picking the winner. We'll kind of make it into a little game. So, to start with, again, like I always say in all of my videos, you have to know what system you're judging. So today, because Miss America is Sunday, I'm going to talk about how I would judge the different competitions in the Miss America pageant. So, since interview prelims are first, I'll start with how I judge an interview. The first thing I look for in a girl, it's not their dress or their hair or their makeup or anything like that. It's strictly body language. So, do they look confident? Do they look comfortable? The biggest thing I look at in a woman that is competing is their eyes. The saying, the eyes are the window to the soul, is so true. The eyes say everything. So I always look at the eyes and see, one, are they passionate about what they're talking about? Do they look comfortable? 2, and 3, are they engaged in the conversation? Are they looking at me when I'm asking the question? Are they responding to me, or are they just looking at the wall behind us? So that's one of the things I really look at. In the Miss America system, I really look for knowledge of current events and things, because that is important in this system. So do they know about the election going on? Do they have an opinion on it? Do they know about Syria and about even things in the country such as the flooding in Louisiana and all sorts of different things that you would just see in the news? Do they have a basic understanding of what's going on in the world? That's important in this system because as Miss America, you're really involved in different things going on in the world. And so it's good to have some sort of an idea of what those things are so that you know how you would be able to help if you were to win the title there. So those are the basic things that I think of in interview. Mind you, when you're watching the pageant, you don't ever get to see the interview portion, so a lot of times you don't really get to judge that. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. Second thing that usually comes next, at least in the preliminaries, is talent. So the big thing I look for in talent is entertainment value. Are they having fun doing their talent, and is the audience enjoying watching them? That is so huge. It has to be something that's fun to watch, or to me it doesn't really qualify as a talent if it's boring and nobody really wants to watch it. So that's huge for me. Again, I look at the eyes. Are they enjoying what they're doing? Eyes are so important because their face can be smiling and happy and excited, and their eyes can just be blank and there's nothing there. So that is I can't stress enough how much the eyes are important in everything. Another thing to look for in talent is, do they actually know what they're doing? In the Miss America system, because talent is weighted pretty heavily, usually the girls are pretty strong in their talents, which is awesome, and I love watching them. So it is really important to know what you're doing in a talent. So you always want to look for things like technique and the choreography and dances. With vocals, you want to make sure that they're on pitch all the time and very solid on everything. So to be a judge for a pageant, you have to have a lot of knowledge of a lot of different kinds of talents, or you're not going to be able to judge every talent equally. If you are really, really strong in dance and you know a lot about dance, but you don't know anything about instrumentalists, it's going to make it really easy for you to judge a dancer, and you can be kind of tough and know exactly what you're talking about with a dancer, but then if a violinist or a pianist were to come along, you wouldn't have any idea if they had correct techniques or if they were playing the right notes. All you know is if it sounds good or not, which is okay, but it's always better if you are well versed in a little bit of everything as a judge. That way you can really see, okay, on her violin she hit all of the right notes, but instead of holding her hand up, her palm was resting on the neck of the violin, or while she was dancing she looked gorgeous but she didn't get her legs straight, or if she were singing, everything was on pitch and everything, but when she'd do her vibrato she would move her chin up and down instead of just doing a true vibrato. So you just kind of have to know a little bit of everything. And so it's very important as a contestant to know the technique and do the correct technique, and as a judge to study a few different kinds of talents so that you can properly judge everybody. So moving on from talent into, let's go with swimwear next. Swimwear is one that's really hard to judge because a lot of people get wrapped up in judging what they look like in the swimsuit, which is totally not hardly at all what that competition is about. It's all about confidence and being comfortable with who you are. So yes, you have to look healthy and fit and like you take care of yourself. That's important. But what's more important is, are you comfortable with you? And again, the biggest thing to look at is someone's eyes. Eyes say everything, and it's really, really hard to hide how you really feel in your eyes. So you do want to look at walk, and are they fairly smooth, and do they look like they know what they're doing? Some walks are very awkward and it kind of makes it uncomfortable to watch, so that's obviously something to look out for. But again, really look at the way they carry themselves. Are they comfortable with who they are? Are they cocky? Are they just kind of there and not really sure what to do? Posture makes a huge difference on how far back those shoulders are. Can mean a whole bunch of different things. Again, with the eyes, if they're smiling, or even if they have a straight face, some people, it kind of depends on what it is, their eyes can be like, yeah, I'm excited, I'm here, this is awesome, I'm having so much fun. Or it can be, okay, I'm freaking out, I don't know what to do, I'm freaking out. So you really have to pay attention to the little things like that. Little details are super important, but not so important that if I don't get my foot exactly in the right place, I'm going to be kicked out of it. A lot of times it doesn't come down to those little nitpicky things. So those are a few things to look out for in swimsuit. In evening wear, very similar to swimsuit. Again, it's really not about the dresses they're wearing. You want it to look good on them, but a lot of times, at least when I'm judging, I don't remember the dresses they're wearing. I remember more their faces or their actions on stage. I really don't pay that much attention to the dress unless it's really distracting. So again, same thing with the eyes and the face, and again with the shoulders, how they carry themselves. Like, I cannot stress enough that you've got your comfortable confidence, elegant, poised, but then you've got some girls that are just like, I'm so much better than you. Those ones drive me crazy. And then you've got the girls that are trying to be who they are, but kind of aren't comfortable with who they are, so their shoulders are just a little bit more forward than others. So it makes it really hard to watch those things, especially when you have a minute, 2 minutes on stage to look at each girl, and they're coming right after each other, it makes it really hard to watch and really understand how to judge each person. So again, it takes practice to judge people, and I know I'm not perfect at it, but I'm learning. And I'm hoping that some of my helpful hints can help you guys a little bit too. So the last thing that they do in the Miss America system is the onstage question. Now usually they are questions about current events and things going on in the world. So again, it's very important that the contestant knows what they're talking about. And as a judge, it's extremely, extremely, extremely important that the contestants answer the questions. That's one of my biggest pet peeves watching pageants, is on the onstage questions, you've got these girls, and instead of them saying that they don't really know an answer or really don't have an opinion on something, they make something totally off the wall they totally make it up off the top of their head, and it drives me crazy because half the time they don't get anywhere close to answering the questions and they look like idiots, and it just bugs me. So to me, that's one of my biggest things with onstage question is, do you actually answer the question? So important to me. Another thing that's really important is I'm one that talks with my hands, and as you can probably see, I move them all over the place. So I really don't mind if somebody talks with their hands, but there are times that it can get distracting. So I feel that you kind of have to find that happy medium if you do talk with your hands. But I also kind of feel it's a little awkward if you just stand there and talk. I don't know. You're supposed to be talking to somebody, so I feel like, I don't know, it's probably because of that. That's who I am. I use my hands. So you want, with the onstage question, to be able to make the judge feel comfortable. So as a judge, you want to feel comfortable. You don't want to leave the question feeling like, what just happened? I'm not really quite sure how I felt about that. I couldn't really understand where she was going. So it's important that the contestant is comfortable, and a lot of times that has people talking with their hands, but you want to feel comfortable as a judge. And another thing with onstage question is you want to have some sort of connection with that contestant, whether they are looking at the judges themselves or if they're interacting with the audience. You want to have some sort of interaction there. And sometimes, again, they're just staring at a wall right behind you. And that usually makes it easier as a contestant because you're not looking at somebody, but it makes it a lot harder as a judge. So I always look for someone that's engaged in what they're saying, someone that has a strong opinion and is passionate about what they're saying. And again, look at the eyes. If they're passionate about it and they actually have an opinion and know what they're talking about, you're going to be able to see that in their eyes. If they're not, a little unsure of themselves, you'll be able to see that in their eyes. So as a judge, I'm always looking at the contestants' eyes. It's so huge to me to be able to see more what they're thinking instead of what they're saying. And it's so, so huge. So I challenge all of you guys to watch the Miss America pageant with some of these things in mind and try to be a judge and see what you come up with. And of course, I will have a review video up hopefully just a day or two after the pageant, trying to get back on top of my life, so hopefully that's when that will be. And again, I have a couple other videos up my sleeve that should be coming out shortly, so stay tuned for those. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that some of this information is helpful to you. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Pageanting101. And feel free to comment below if you can think of any other things that are important as a judge, or if as a contestant any of my things help you. And if you want me to do anything else, comment in the below comment section. I look at those all the time, so that would be awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to y'all soon. Thank you!